Recently, I heard someone speak about this idea, and it brought a line to mind. Your heartbreaks taught you wisdom your happiness never could. It lingered with me. And sometimes the clearest way to understand a feeling is to watch it unfold through a story. I call this the last winter. There was once a woman named Arya who lived through a long emotional winter, a season that never seemed to end. Not the winter of snow or storms, but the kind that settles quietly inside the heart. Years ago, she had trusted deeply. She had believed in people with all the softness she had. But one by one, those she let close left marks she never asked to carry. The betrayal of a friend, the rejection of someone she loved, the silence of people she needed. Every wound taught her something, but the lessons were cold. They taught her to withdraw, to live carefully, to depend on no one. Arya learned to survive, but she stopped learning how to connect. She moved through life like someone walking on thin ice, always careful, always listening for cracks. And maybe you know that feeling too. Then one day, during another quiet winter morning, Arya met someone unexpected. Not a lover, not a savior, just a person who showed up with gentle consistency, a stranger who became a familiar face, and then a friend. They didn't push past her walls. They simply stood beside them. Every day they showed her small acts of trust, keeping their word, listening without judgment, remaining when they didn't have to. And slowly, Arya found herself thawing. One afternoon, as they shared a quiet walk, Arya realized something. Her heart wasn't afraid. It was waiting for proof that not everyone she loved would turn into a lesson, waiting for someone to show her that spring was still possible. And in that moment, she understood. Her years of emotional winter had not broken her. They had prepared her. They had given her wisdom she could not have learned in any other season. Wisdom to see who is genuine. Wisdom to value consistency. Wisdom to trust slowly but deeply. Wisdom to walk away from coldness and walk toward warmth. Her heartbreaks had been harsh teachers, but they taught her truths that happiness never could. And because she learned them, she could finally welcome the spring that life had been holding for her all along. And if you sit with this story for a moment, it started to echo things we've all felt before, opening up a space to look at our own experiences a little differently. For me, it's a reality that pain doesn't really care how old you are. We can be 6 years old, 16, or 36, and the sting of being let down feels almost identical. Rejection feels the same. Being left out feels the same. Being betrayed feels the same, whether it happened in a schoolyard or in a relationship years later. And what's even more interesting, and often surprising, is how those early lessons we never asked for follow us into adulthood. The friend who broke a childhood promise, the family member who dismissed our feelings, the person we trusted who chose someone else, the partner who said the right words but didn't live them. Different stages of life, same kind of ache. But here's the part we don't always realize in the moment. Every one of those experiences teaches us something, even though they often teach us in the hardest way possible. We learn to pay attention. We learn to choose people who choose us back. We learn to listen to the tone behind the words. We learn to walk away when something feels off. And yes, sometimes we also learn to protect ourselves a little too well. We put up walls not because we want to shut people out, but because at some point, someone made us feel like we weren't safe letting them in. But even with all that, there comes a moment, at any stage of life, when we start to understand the wisdom hidden inside those heartbreaks. We realize that the pain we felt as kids, teens, adults, it all shaped the way we love, the way we trust, the way we choose others, and the way we choose ourselves. And that understanding doesn't make the hurt okay, but it does help us see that we grew because of it. That quote becomes real. Your heartbreaks taught you wisdom your happiness never could. Because happiness teaches us joy in the moment, but heartbreak teaches us how to carry ourselves through the moments when joy is missing. Happiness shows us what feels light, but heartbreak shows us what is meaningful. And no matter how young or how grown we are, the hurt that shaped us doesn't have to define us forever. It can remind us of what we deserve, of what we outgrew, of the kind of love, from ourselves and from others, that we're finally ready to welcome. Sometimes that's the quiet gift inside the pain. How about you? And if this brings something up for you, a memory, a thought, a lesson, you're welcome to share it here. Someone else might really need to hear it.